Well, folks, welcome back to the channel. I've been building on that tandem axle trailer for the RS Racecraft, the Skookum 13 that I am keeping for myself. But I have to call a timeout and get ready for race season. Our first race is coming up June 19th over in St. John, Washington. If you've never been to one of these things, you got to get over there. That is the place to go. There's going to be some absolutely phenomenal racing going on over there. I normally race a twin turbo super boat. However, there's some I'm taking a time out from that boat and going to focus on getting a new 400 boat developed and ready. The plan is to have my navigator Nicole drive it, and my girlfriend Tina is going to navigate for her. So it's going to be a girl-girl team. However, in the interim, since my superboat is out, I'm going to co-drive that. So I'm going to drive it with Tina, and Nicole is also going to drive it with Tina. We're developing there's three classes, a modified or super modified, the A400, and the superboat or unlimited class. I am developing it as a 400 boat. However, my 400 motor is still being built after 2 years, and now I'm going to be running in the modified class just for this first race until that motor gets out. So I was going to show a little bit. People have talked about, hey, can you show us like the insides, or somebody also mentioned about the lights. So hopefully the backlighting isn't too bad in here. Since I have a boat here in my garage, I was gonna just kind of walk through it and talk the basics about sprint boat construction and how these things are going. So without further ado, I'm gonna turn the camera around and show a little insider peek at the new race boat that we're developing. This is, again, the 400 boat with a modified engine in it. So the basics, specifically the difference between these and a mini boat or any other river boat, is the dead rise. These things are very much steeper dead rise. Very similar construction with the Delta pad. They're all a Delta pad and a steeper dead rise. These anywhere from, I don't know, probably 20 degrees to 24 degrees is the kind of standard for the sprint boats. Other big thing you're looking at right here, this is an 8.5-inch Southern jet pump, and the standard is 8.5, and there's some up as big as 9.25, and even some bigger kind of highly modified pumps. This is an 8.5-inch Southern jet paired up to a small block Chevrolet. So the pumps, these are a two-stage pump. All of them are. You got the inducer impeller or the bullet up front. Then you got a stator vane in here, and then you have the rear impellers. This is what they look like. This is the bullet or the front impeller, and here is a set of the rears. So they just got a little bit of surface rust on them. I'm gonna clean those up, and off we go. So here it is laying around here on the garage floor. So here's the Skookum compared to, this is going in the mini boat that I've been building, and this is the bigger pump, obviously, for the race boat. So overall construction, pretty much the same thing. However, these things are anytime you're in racing, it's all about weight and weight to horsepower ratio. So you got to build these things as light as you can. We're not out there, yes, we hit the beach, but we're not jumping logs. We're not going over grab bars, anything like that. So the basics are 3/16 bottom. So these are only a 3/16 bottom with a single set of engine bearers or longitudinal bracing in there that run pretty much up to just in front of where the bow transition starts to happen. So you got the Delta on there that runs up, and that is the basics of boat construction. So it's actually a requirement, a minimum of 3/16 bottom plate, and then the minimum, I want to say it's 5 mil, or essentially 80 thousandths for the sides, transom, bow decking, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people run 1/8 inch, but the rule is 80 thousandths as a minimum. Okay, let's look at this motor. This is Dustin Springer's modified engine that he has loaned me for one race. It is a dry sump system, and the reason that we do that, there's a couple reasons. Windage, obviously you get a little bit of more horsepower, but also lets you run a lower profile oil pan that then lets you drop the motor down and lower your center of gravity. So lower center of gravity gets better turning performance and all the benefits of that. Here's the barn. I believe it's a barn. No, this is Dustin's dry sump system. Dry sump pump up forward. You can see all its rockers, and I got the valve cover off there. And this is the next level from Clint Birch. Carbon fiber valve covers. Those things are pretty sweet. They are quite a bit lighter. I've measured them on my little shop scale. I'll give a little closer look up at one of his valve covers. You can see he's embossed a flame pattern in there. So you just put the breather, but these things are pretty nice. Clint does really good work. I bought multiple products from him, including the valve covers, the seats, and now I'm buying bought an air filter base from him for that as well. The little things like this is where I save my own weight. Little simple, just carbon fiber brackets here and there, carbon fiber gas pedal. I believe the rule is changing that's requiring foot braces for the Navigator. However, not all boats have them. And then fuel tank. Normally the fuel tank is going to run back here. But because of this big old, this is the fuel tank that I'm running with my 400 motor. It's not going to have a big off of the front of the engine dry sump pump, so it wouldn't fit under there. So it did fit under essentially the seat. So I'm a little bit worried that this is going to be too far forward and I'm going to not be able to get the proper balance. However, this is only for one race. So the fuel tanks are pretty small. About 3 gallons is all you need, 2.5 to 3 gallons. You burn about 1 gallon per run. Other thing, this is an electric fuel pump. Dustin's motor was having issues cutting out in turns. So we were trying to diagnose that. We don't know if it was a bad ground cable somewhere or battery cable that was shorting out in a turn. We didn't know if it was carburetor issues. And one thing that I wanted to take out of the loop was the fuel supply. So I bought a brand new, and this is going to be for the 400 boat too, a electric fuel pump to feed this thing. So that is, so let's talk real quick about performance. This is Dustin's motor. I want to say it's up about 600, maybe just slightly over 600 horsepower out of a small block Chevrolet. In the modified class, you're limited to 358 cubic inches. In the 400 class, you're limited to 412 cubic inches. And in the unlimited class, the sky is the limit. So what I got going right now, this boat is unfinished. It's just raw bare aluminum everywhere. It's got to get painted in the Jolly Roger blue colors. So I'm in the process of stripping everything out. The only other thing I didn't do, everything has been built. I just got to put the drive line in there and the roll cage. I just got that out yesterday. Finished that trailer, got the other boat out of the garage, and got the roll cage in here. Got a couple small welds to finish, but this thing is sending over to get sandblasted and then off to powder coating for that. So I've got about a month from right now before this the racing starts. So I just thought I'd give everybody kind of an inside sneak peek of. I put my blue painter's tape on there just to kind of see what the boat's going to look like in blue. Now, another thing is this size of this boat would obviously sink if you put it in the water right now. I've got carbon fiber extensions that extend the side up, essentially a long splash fin that goes off the back. So the upper part of this is all carbon fiber that saves a little bit of weight, not a whole lot, but it also is nice taking those off. It makes working on the boat really, really easy. And here's the my trailer. It's almost the exact same design as the one I was just building for the mini boat. However, this is not a stub axle, torsion axle design. So I decided to give everybody an insider look at one of these sprint boats in its kind of raw, torn down form. And like I said, June 19th, St. John, Washington. Go to the Jolly Roger Facebook page, or Web Slew is the name of the track. If you want to go check out these races, it's unbelievable what these boats do. When you're going around a track, if you're smooth, we're doing about 4 Gs around a corner just on a normal run. However, when you hit the spin out pool, you're going wide open, max top speed, and these things will absolutely spike up over 7 Gs in the spin out pool. Or if you're not smooth and you happen to accidentally spike the G on one of these things, they will spike up over 6 to 7 Gs. So it's pretty intense racing. Your neck is sore, your ribs are sore from banging around inside the race seat, and I guarantee you will not see a more intense form of motorsport. I'd say almost any motorsport. We're not getting crazy speeds like F1, but we're actually pulling more lateral G than an F1 car. It's pretty impressive. So anyway, St. John, Washington, June 19th. Hope to see you there. Come to the pit, say hello, and you can see this boat up in person. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go through the spiel. If you like the content we're going, I'm probably going to switch to more racing content as the summer goes, just because it's that time of season. So there's going to be lots of racing, lots of mini boats, and some other special surprises that I'm going to cover shortly. Thanks for watching.